Somebody was talking about I every now and then I do some voices and so forth of various media personalities. I wish I could do more. I'm not that great, but I try. The problem is there's not many personalities left in the Bay Area. Everybody's kind of all vanilla and stodgy and benign and kind of humorless. And I mean, there are a few people that have a personality that are a little bit, shall we say, excited, can be downright hysterical. In fact, the ones that are really, really funny are the ones that aren't pretending to be funny and are kind of, let's just say, unintentionally funny, which reminds me, I'm going to talk like this because I have no apparent reason to talk otherwise. Let's go, as they say, to KCBS and Steve Scott, who apparently thinks without talking like this that he wouldn't be a broadcaster because he has to talk like this. I'm Steve Scott. And even though you can't see me, and even though I sound as if I have a piece of stick up my ass, I'm still going to try to talk like a broadcaster. And suddenly here I am because I'm Steve Scott. There's that guy. Then there's Jack Ferris. Hi. Hi, I'm Jack Ferris in the middle of Union Square. Once again, I have a microphone and I'm trying to get laid. So I'm going to talk to tourists from Ohio, especially chicks, and tell them I'm doing interviews, man on the street interviews. And I'm going to ask them, what do they think of the Gay Pride weekend, the Gay Pride parade? And because that's very creative and very journalistic. I'm Jack Ferris with KCBS, and I have a microphone in my hand, and God knows, maybe I'll get laid. And then we go over to KNBR. Hi, hi, this is Murph. Hi, I'm Brian Murphy. When I'm out on my deck clipping my toenails and trying to enjoy summer, I think about my car, my beautiful Honda, a Honda that I leased at El Cerrito Honda. And they gave me such great service. It made me feeling satisfied and worthy and hungry. And this is Murph. When I get hungry, there's nothing like a good old Fici's Amici's pizza. They've got good. They put the little peppers on the pizza. And I get so hungry. And, it makes me pay, and I'll pay anything for an Amici's pizza. It's delicious. I would pay any, and you know what? In order to get all the money to pay for Amici's, you gotta go to Provident Credit Union. I'm Murph for Provident Credit Union. Oh, I put my life savings in there, my T-bills, my CDs. Oh, Provident Credit Union. Hi, I'm Brian Murphy. I'll shill for anything. Provident Credit Union. And you know what, folks? When I retire, I'm going to go out to the island, River Islands in the middle of Lathrop, California, the French Riviera of the Central Valley, where me and my family like to lounge on Islanders Field. I always think of my friend, my fanboy image of Buster Posey. We're out in the middle of our River Islands, and I'm getting a pain in my shoulder. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to Marin Health and get an X-ray. Hey, Marin Health. This is Brian Murphy with Provident Credit Union. I need an X-ray. Ooh. Are you hot? Are you cold? Are you hot? It's the middle of summer. I'm Brian Murphy for Bigelow Tea. I'm thirsty. Ooh, Bigelow Tea. For a guy who makes a living behind a microphone, I love my Bigelow Tea. So that's just a few. But there's a lot more people. There used to be people that did that kind of a thing. But I'm just saying, ha ha, funny, right? Ha ha, ha ha, funny. When we used to have personalities, we used to have personalities. Why am I talking like this for no apparent reason? I have no idea. But nationally, I always thought it was interesting to watch on Sunday morning Meet the Press when James Carville would say, like he's saying right now, the Democrats got to get their act together. We can't continue to act like these goddamn pansy. We got to get our act together. Otherwise, we're going to be losing all the elections. And that just sucks. Because I remember I worked for Bill Clinton, right, in the war room. And we used to take this shit seriously. They call me the Raging Cajun. But really, folks, politics is a dirty game. You got to win. You got to do it. You got to otherwise you're a poser. We got to get our act together and win elections. Trump wins because he doesn't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He just does what he does, and he wins. He wins. He's a classic. He's a total classic, and he just does what he does. He don't give a damn about the implications. So you have James Carville, and then of course you used to have characters like the guy on 60 Minutes. This is Andy Rooney. Why do they call them perverts? Sounds goofy, kind of like a goofy name, because I guess they are, perverts, but why? Why do they call them perverts? What? What do you do? Anyway, so we would have characters even in the Bay Area. I remember like Ralph Barbieri. I have a horrible voice, but Ralph was kind of, I was able to turn this into a livelihood, and I give up.